Okay, it's about 4:30 in the morning. We're going to start making our way over to Lena, Alaska to pick up a new addition to the family. It's about a 5-hour ride. We're going to make a quick stop in Fairbanks. Hopefully this snow peters out and we have a nice trip. Where's your hand in there? So we're on the Alaskan now. This is a long stretch of highway that starts in Dawson City, British Columbia, and then ends in Delta Junction, Alaska. It's a gorgeous ride. We've never driven this portion of it before. We've driven the rest of it, so we're kind of excited to check it out. So we are in the Tanana Valley now. Next stop is Delta Junction. The snow's still coming down, but it's been a beautiful ride so far. Okay, so there's the official end of the Alaska Highway. Now we can say that we've done the whole highway, done the bottom portion of it about 3 times, but that was our first time going to the very end of it.
Alright, we have about an hour left on the journey. We stopped to get some gas. We're just heading out of Fairbanks and on our way to Nanana. So we are pretty excited, so we should be there soon. You get a snack?
Yeah, it's yummy.
Alright, so we have made it to Nanana. We are following these folks' directions to get to their homestead. They also live remote, so we are going to drive as far as we can and then park at their trailhead and walk in about the half mile to go get our dog. Alright, let me grab my coat. Hey, I'm Amy.
Nice
Good
to
to meet you.
Chance.
What was that?
I'm Chance.
Chance, good to meet you, Chance. Are you excited? What? Alright, so we have arrived at their homestead. It is a pretty neat spot out here, I gotta say. I really like the trail in. He informed us that the dad is off and patrolling. So he's gonna go back, drop the snow go off, and then come back and escort us in. So don't act afraid if we see him. We're gonna do our best not to do that. So, he does his rounds though.
Yeah, oh yeah. So the farthest he goes is that hill. He'll just go and stand at the edge of the top of that hill and just watch. The dad, he's a Turkmen Albi, and his grandparents were imported from Turkmenistan. His dad's grandfather was like the champion of the village. As far as we know, we don't know anybody else that breeds them and puts them with animals. The thing about them is that he knows that I'm bringing you guys in.
He's picking up on it.
Yeah. So
Oh my god, he is gorgeous.
I bet you don't have any
You are so pretty.
unwanted guests, huh?
Oh no.
Oh my god, what a gorgeous dog.
Leroy.
Come on,
To me, Mom.
it's your size. The goat is your size.
Hey, it's a puppy.
Hey, I think this is her. You want to hold hands? Okay, so Daddy.
She's actually very sweet.
Hey. Oh, you are
So
sweet.
mom-
Hello. Hey.
But the mom, she's part Anatolian. She's like a Anatolian mix. She's actually like bite trained, and she's my wife's protection dog. She's very good at it. And Birch here is, she's very like, wants the attention of people,
Yeah.
you know? And so she's gonna be like a really good, like, homestead, like, bush dog.
Hey, Birch. I think we keep her name.
Yeah,
I like her name.
She's a really good dog. She's gonna be really good.
Hey.
I see her messing him up. Like,
Is she?
she'll dominate him.
Hi.
And see, he just wants to
Hello.
be over there with the barn and the sheep and whatnot.
So I know a lot of people like have debates about livestock dogs. Why did you choose the Alibi over other ones?
The Alibi are really good with kids. They're really
Yeah.
gentle.
Yeah.
These, like, I know he's huge, but he's like, these two dogs are the only dogs that we have that don't like push over our kids.
Yeah.
You know, they're super gentle most of the times with the livestock. Like Iris, if the sheep are eating her food, she'll bite them.
Uh-huh.
But you want that. You want to make sure that
Yeah.
you want the dog to be in charge of the sheep. The sheep can't think that they can bully the dog around.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Wait, is she's your other full-blood Alibi, right?
Yeah.
Hi.
Her name's Iris.
Hi, Iris. That's a pretty name.
She's very pregnant.
She's gorgeous. Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Ooh. Pregnant mama.
But we have her on her chain right now because her and her mama really don't get along, and she whoops her mama usually.
Hi, buddy.
This is Maggie.
You wanna go say hi to the pig?
She's really.
Oh, you're a tank too, huh?
Oh my god, you're a tank too, huh? Sweet girl.
Kind of a...
Sweet girl. Hello. She likes it on her.
Sweet girl. Hi, are you scared? Come on. So if you guys want to follow another really great homestead up here in Alaska, we will link their YouTube down at the bottom. They're a wonderful family doing really awesome things out here.
Do you love her?
I do.
Let's do this.
Have you been in the car? Sweet potato, it's very heavy. This is like a solid, I don't know how heavy she is, but she's heavy.
So we are about to start our ride home. Little Birch is nervous, so we have some summer sausage and some really good stuff that we're gonna give her and kind of try to make it as calm and nice as possible as we head back to the cabin. What do you think about her, Lena?
I love her. I
She's
love
sleeping
how
on
she's
you?
like a spooky ghost.
She's taking a stress nap,
That's okay.
laying on the piece of sausage.
I love her.
Well, Lena is in love with this new dog, and we are heading through Fairbanks, so we are going to stop. I think this is going to be our last shot to get a coffee, so we are definitely going to stop and get a couple lattes to perk us up, and then we are going to keep going back to the homestead. Was it a food trip?
There we go, coffee away. She's settling in good. She's a good dog. She's smart. She definitely thinks about it. I like her. She's cool. Huh. You're cool, aren't you? That's what the chickens think.
Don't let the chickens out. Good girl with the birds. Good girl. Very good girl you are. Good girl you are.
She doesn't eat the eggs either.
She is very independent, yeah.
Super independent.
So the new pup is settling in very nicely. She is super smart already and very observant. So she will know when a bird flies down or anything happens. She's very gentle with the chickens right off the bat, which is surprising to us, you know, because she's so young. We took her right in the coop when we fed them. She was good. She was good. Loves the snow. Very sweet. Super, super sweet. Great with Lena. She loves Lena. So they are getting along quite nicely. Tucker's really good with little dogs and puppies, so we're lucky with that.
So we got this pup here to primarily be a guardian for our daughter. We couldn't be happier with her so far. This is our first real experience we've had with these livestock breeds. But yeah, she's a great dog. She sticks right by our daughter. She pays attention to where she's going. We have a pretty high predator load here. We have wolves, black bear, brown bear. So it's good to have an extra set of eyes on our little one here. I really want to thank Chance and Soraya from Grey Wolf and Pack for selling us such a great dog. They have a really cool homestead over there. They're really living the real Alaskan lifestyle.
So we are gonna head over to one of our nearest neighbors' houses. She's gonna make a moose stew, and I'm gonna bring a rosemary sourdough loaf and some of our blueberry jam. We're gonna go over there, have some dinner, and then head on to the spring and fill up our water. All right, so it is a beautiful morning on the homestead. We are gonna be doing a cabin tour today, and we're also gonna start a moose roast for dinner. So I'm gonna throw that in my pot, brown it with a little tallow, and then throw some root veggies in there, a little bit of stock, and cook it on 250. And then we'll get to showing you guys around the homestead. Yum! I do salt, pepper, rosemary, and parsley. All right, into the oven this goes until it's tender.
Hey guys, I thought it would be great to show you the whole homestead, so we'll go ahead and start here at the beginning of the driveway. So this driveway here is a steep switchback, and we're going to go ahead and start walking up it. Okay. Okay, we're about halfway up the driveway now. There's the well sitting off over there. I think that's about as far up as the well truck could get, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty surprised it got this far. In the summertime, we'll go ahead and run some Arctic pipe from the well up to the cabin, and we'll have running water. Okay, so over here we just have a generator shed I had set up. It's only temporary. When we bought this cabin, there was a big old Onan diesel generator that was more work than it was worth really to keep running, so we replaced it with a Honda EU 2200, which is, you know, an okay generator. It meets our power needs. The one thing I will say about those is they do not run good in the cold. We have a cold weather kit in this one, and it still kind of runs funky when it's really cold, and we have to bring it inside a lot to get it going in the morning. But yeah, it does the trick for now. Eventually we'll get a nice solar setup here. We're kind of just waiting to see what comes up. There's a dealer up in Fairbanks that sells decent used systems, and we did it on our last cabin. We had picked up one for about $2,500 that met all our power needs, and in the winter time here anyway, you're going to run a generator somewhat. There's just not enough sun. So we have the pup out with us today, just trying to establish a good bond with her. We left our other dog home because he tends to wander, and we don't want him drawing her off too far because she tends to follow him around. So there are a lot of birch trees on this lot. One of the things we really wanted to get into is tapping birch trees. The front of the cabin has a lot of birch and a natural slope, so what we're kind of thinking is that we could run lines just like in maple trees down to the bottom where we could collect it. But we're going to kind of look into that. We have a lot of experience with maple trees, but not so much tapping birch trees. So we got the snow machine, the ATV, and a meat wagon, all of which I think are essential tools in the bush. We got this building here. This is a little barn me and Amy had built this winter. We plan to put some goats in it within the next week or so. We got a couple fishing nets over there for dip netting. The two big ones are for salmon. They're just basically gill nets. Top one is for hooligan, which is a type of smelt. We have a lot of experience beach fishing at the mouth of the rivers. It's going to be a little different here on the Copper. We don't have much experience river fishing like that. So it's going to be an interesting learning curve to learn how to fish in eddies and kind of just see how that goes. We're excited to try. outhouse here. There's probably no real reason to see inside it, but it's just a, you know, basic outhouse. It's got a double door. You can keep the top door open while you're doing your business and get a nice view of the mountain. We got this little thing here. This is a chicken coop that me and Amy had put together this fall just to temporarily house our chickens. In the summertime, we're gonna go ahead and move them to the barn out back there, but for now this will work. So this here is just a wood shed we're starting to build with some of the salvaged materials we got this past fall. So yeah, we're gonna whip that up in the next week or so. So okay, off to this side we have some raised beds that were here when we got here. I believe there was actually a high tunnel in here that someone had disassembled. So what we'll go ahead and do is this spring we'll run a soil sample up to Fairbanks and we'll get it tested so we can kind of see what we're working with, and hopefully we can get some big beautiful gardens in here. And then off to this side we have a smoker that someone was using to smoke salmon meat. We'll probably keep it and use it, but we'll probably build a bigger one too because that just won't quite cut it for our needs. So we got a 500-gallon oil tank here. We've been hauling oil in 5 gallons at a time, but you could haul it in with 55-gallon drums, which is something we plan to do this summer. We don't use a heck of a lot of propane, so these grill propane tanks, you know, each tank probably lasts us about, I don't know, 3 weeks to a month, depending on what we're doing. Okay, so we got our fire pit here. It's got a nice view of the mountains and the Copper River, which is that river you can see down in the valley. Eventually, we'll cut the view in a little more. Our property line goes 540 feet down that hill, so there's plenty of room to clear a view. So okay, I think that's about it for this part of the property. Let's go ahead and take a walk out back, and I'll show you the back of the lot. So this road runs up the back side of our lot here. It's the boundary between our lot and then the 10,000 acres of BLM land. Our property line probably sits 50 or so feet off over that way. And then on the other side of that BLM land is Wrangell St. Elias National Forest. This here is a nice level spot out behind our cabin. Eventually we'd like to build our forever cabin there. We're not really sure what the future holds, but we'd potentially build our forever cabin and then rent out the cabin we're in now to visitors of the national park. So this here is a 40 by 40 barn. It was on the back of the additional acreage we purchased behind our cabin. We eventually plan to fix it up, put some animals in it. Those tracks you're seeing there are caribou tracks. The caribou herd has come through our property in the last few days, and yeah, really cool to see. Our property line probably sits about 100 feet off that way, and that's the back of the lot. So this trail behind me runs across the BLM land. It goes out into the national park. You could take this trail, you could go for, you know, days and days and days and days without ever seeing another person. It's real remote country. So one of the great things about this property is it has a lot of good southern exposure. The lot slopes to the south. You get a lot of nice sun, whether that's just, you know, to uplift your mood in the winter when there's not a lot of sun in the first place, or if you're growing gardens, or for solar. So southern exposure is really something you want to look for. So I guess we'll go ahead, take inside the cabin. This cabin's 16 by 24, including the front porch. It does have a full septic system. It was plumbed with a water holding tank when we bought it, but the cabin had sit vacant for 7 years, so you know, it was in pretty tough shape, so we went ahead and pulled all that out, and we'll hook the well up in the spring. You know, the front of the cabin does need some stain, and the foundation does need some leveling. Some of these screens here were ripped out by a bear when we purchased the cabin. So was the outhouse door, which is kind of funny. The bears do like to break into outhouses. They also like to break into fuel supplies, so the only two things we ever had a bear really break into was our outhouse and our fuel supply, which is, you know, sort of interesting. Okay, so this here is the front porch. It's a great place to sit in the summer to keep away from the mosquitoes. We do keep our chest freezer on the porch here because in the wintertime you don't have to plug it in, and it's winter most of the time up here.
So this is our living room, or the main living area. It is a lovely place to just sit because you can see the mountains right outside the big windows in front of you and enjoy the fire at the same time. Our wood stove is a Hearthstone stove. It heats this little cabin very nicely, and the stone, even when the fire dies out, keeps it nice and toasty. The D-logs, once you warm it up in here, it stays very warm, regardless if it's hard negative. So that wood box there that Dennis built will usually It'll usually last us, you know, 1 to 2 days, depending on how cold it is once we fill it. And we don't generally stock the wood stove through the night, so we'll just throw a big log on there before we go to bed, and it will, you know, simmer until morning and stay warm. But we really like the high ceilings in here. It makes a smaller space feel a lot bigger, and the hand-hewn beams on the top of the ceiling is just really neat and warm. So we really like it. It's very cozy and simple and functional. But I will show you guys the kitchen. Okay, so this is the kitchen. Again, simple but functional. We have a propane range for all of our cooking inside. The sink is not hooked up to water yet. So for right now, all I do is I heat a tea kettle to wash my dishes, and that works just fine. In the spring, we will get that hooked up along with many other projects. This fridge does work, so it's a functioning regular old fridge, but for right now, we just use this as extra dry goods space. So we keep all our flour, canned goods, things like that in there. But yeah, it's functional, simple, and it really does work. This is a great place where we do all of our processing, our canning, fermenting, all happens right here. So we show a lot of it because we're mostly working in the kitchen in here. We do have another sort of working area in the cabin, and I'll show you that right now. So this area of the cabin is just kind of like a little extra space. We keep some canned goods here. We keep our herbs here. We use it as a breakfast nook. Lena does her homeschooling here. We use it as a place to edit, that sort of thing. Any big projects we have or big canning projects, we'll use this extra space too. So it's like a nice little spot in the cabin that gets wonderful sun. So it's a great place to sit and watch the sun come up and eat breakfast. Another neat thing about the cabin is it does have an additional heat source. So this Toyo stove does take a little energy to run, but it's very minimal. And it's nice to have a backup heat source in here as well. And I will show you guys the bathroom and the bedroom. So this cabin, like Dennis said, does have a septic system and a shower and a toilet. So for right now, we just hook a transfer pump up to one of our 5-gallon buckets just to get the shower working. And there is a propane hot water heater in here too. So not too much to see for the bathroom, just like everything in the cabin. It's small but functional. And for the bedroom or the sleeping area, so again, like Dennis said, we're either gonna build our own dream cabin up there on that nice level spot and maybe rent this out, or we'll add on here. But for right now, this is our sleeping area. So we have our bed, and then Lena has her bunk up there, or her terrace as she likes to call it.
Okay, so that's our cabin tour. You know, there's not too much to see. It's small, but it's functional. Yeah.
It's home.
It's home. Mm-hmm. We want to thank you guys for following along, and we appreciate all the support you've given us.
Yes, we do. Okay, I think this roast is done. I'm going to take it out of the oven. And then, okay. I think it's better than a hamburger.
It's been a long time since we made a moose roast, huh? I love moose. It's my favorite meat.
Mm-hmm.